Okay, our project for today, and the ongoing list of projects that you always have on a farm, is to begin to prepare for some corrections that have to be on the lean-to shed for the cattle that was built probably 40 years ago when the original structure was built at the barn. However, over the years, there have been many cattle, manure here and all that goes into here, plus cleaning out, that the posts on the front, as you can see, have began to degrade over the years. I don't know if it was the original treatment put on. I got a feeling it wasn't Penta that was put on there. I was pretty young at the time. The process we're going to take now, and we're a little bit against the clock on the calendar, simply because in our geographic area and in Minnesota we're kind of pressing against the beginning of November here, and we want to get some of this underground work in place before freeze up. The challenge is going to be the fact that we have cattle that are coming in here right now for protection, if need be, let alone just underneath the roof. So what we're going to do, because on the original construction, may or may not show here against the sun, the post, as you'll see there on the, what I'll say the beam across there, kind of a header beam, which runs the full length of this particular span, they still needed the roof framing in there. So to keep the opening a little larger, I believe was at the time what my parents wanted to do on that. When it was constructed, they just cut that post off and put it that way. And being in construction, I've never really been a fan of that. So obviously, we're unable to just take that post out, because now we would have an extremely wide span, probably 24 feet, and that particular 2 by 12 that's there will not handle that even temporarily. So my plan of attack here is I'm going to leave that 6x6 that was there, that is acting as the support for that roof rafter. And what I did next to it already, cut a block in to act as a filler underneath that rafter. Took a plumb bob and we went out, because the new 6x6 going on is 5 5/8 square. We have the plumb bob set at about 2 3/4 strong. And from there, we have that offset, so we have our center line marked. Right there, you can't quite see it, but we do have a little paint spot, is where we're going to drill down, and I'm going to use a 16-inch footing, 4,000 pound mix with an anchor bolt galvanized double dipped into that, and then we're going to put an anchor plate. And back at the top, obviously when we put the post in, once it's cured, we're going to take 18-inch 5/8, there again, double dip galvanized, all thread, or threaded rod, and we're going to sister that together, basically in a sandwich mode. And that will serve essentially as the new column support. I don't know if it will be yet this fall, or possibly next spring after the thaw. We will remove this post now that we have a span support, and we're going to take one by one, because each one has degraded on the bottom, and that one only has maybe 3 inches left at the center of that post. But with the new one that we're putting in, that should support it for the winter. The end one down there, I'm not real concerned it's degrading itself. we're gonna be good with that one. They don't rub on that one very much. Plus we have half the load being taken by another post right there. So the way the structure works, we're only looking at carrying half of that distance both ways, so we're pretty covered on that. So I'm going to get my hole drilled in, use the auger on our boom there. It's going to be a little tight quarters vertically. That's a 12-inch bit, so I'm going to have to hand dig a little bit around the edges, and not a big deal. The most of it will be already taken care of. So, as it progresses forward, we'll take a few picks onto completion. Thanks for watching.